It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by First Southern Bank, by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, by Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial.
Season's greetings from First Southern Bank. We want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas from our staff, management, and shareholders. We still have those great loans and deposit products you may have heard us talking about. Thank you for a great year, and we look forward to many more. Give us a call at 588-1010. That's 588-1010. Or come by and see us. First Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The holidays are here, and no better place to enjoy a meal with friends and family than Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant, a family favorite located in downtown Jessup. Yes, this holiday season, stop by or check out the drive-thru for wings, burgers, salads, lunch, or dinner. It doesn't matter. Damon's restaurant is here for you. Don't forget the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. Your choice. Yes, the holidays are here, and do yourself a favor. Take some time to relax and have a great meal at Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant, located at 334 West Cherry Street in Jessup. Call or order 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant, a Wayne County favorite during the holidays and every day of the year.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show. Got a special guest on the phone with us, candidate for U.S. Senate, Latham Sadler's been with us before, but Latham, again, appreciate you being here on the show, and then you're going to be in Jessup later today at an event at the Altamont Steak and Seafood. So first of all, tell us about that.
Absolutely. We're actually en route to South Georgia right now. I'm starting out in Waycross, Georgia. We'll be at Sheffield Coffee, and then we go to Patterson and then Blackshear, and then we're wrapping up the day in Jessup, and I'm looking forward to meeting y'all and hopefully meeting some of your listeners.
Well, again, you were one of the first candidates to throw your hat into the ring, but since you've done that, it's kind of gotten crowded. Gary Black's in there, Herschel's in there, so how do you see this race playing out on the Republican ticket?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Well, I mean, I'm kind of unique in this race in that I'm a proud son of Georgia. My mom's from South Georgia. I went to UGA, go Dogs, and ended up, 9/11 happened while I was at UGA, and it changed my life forever and led me on a long journey to serving in the Navy SEAL teams. I served about a decade there, deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, and then got tapped to come up to the Trump White House and serve as Director for Intelligence Programs on the National Security Council, overseeing our country's Black Ops portfolio. And our state has a proud tradition, as y'all know, of having a national security expert in the Senate, all the way back to Richard B. Russell. We had Sam Nunn, who helped us win the Cold War. We had Johnny. We had Saxby. We had David. And now for the first time since World War II, we don't have any United States Senator on the Armed Services Committee up there in the Senate. And where I was perched at the White House running our Black Ops portfolio, I mean, I saw firsthand what our adversaries are doing to harm us, and there's work that needs to be done from the United States Senate that very few people can do. And then as it relates to my opponents in this race, I mean, I'll tell you, Herschel did me a favor by getting in this race. And I know that sounds crazy, but I thought this would be a crowded field of 8 to 10 formidable people, and it'd be a Royal Rumble to the top, but he sealed the field off for me. And now it's essentially a three-way race between, as you noted, Gary, Herschel, and myself, those guys have vulnerabilities I don't have and I don't get into. My vulnerability is an item of one, which is I'm an outsider to politics. I've got to earn name ID, and hey, that's why we're doing the work. We're cutting across the state. We're going to hit every inch of this state. We've raised $3 million to date, and two of us are going to go to a runoff, and I'll tell you, in a head-to-head environment with either one of those guys, I wouldn't want to be them. I'm betting on me.
Latham, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. Where do you reside? Tell us about your family and how did you get involved in politics?
Absolutely. So we live in Cobb County outside of Atlanta, and I've got a wonderful wife, Melissa, and two young boys that are 1 and 4 years old, Bubba and Marshall. And I'll tell y'all, I mean, the reason I'm doing this is for them. I mean, I would have never jumped into the political arena if things weren't so dire for our country, one, and two, if I wasn't a father. Because the way I see it, you know, you've got communist China who wants to knock us off the block, and I got every briefing you can get in the Situation Room about what they're trying to do. And then you've got this movement within our country, guys, that is trying to take us down the river of socialism and ultimately Marxism. And I refuse to have either one of those adversaries snatch away my children's or anybody's children's future. And that's why I'm in this race.
If you get elected and you get to Washington, what are some of the things you'd like to see done? Because it looks like it's just gridlock up there. Everything's just down on party lines. No one's getting, nothing's getting done. So if you get there, what do you see changing?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. You know, I get asked all the time, Latham, Washington's so broken. I mean, even if you get up there as one of 100 U.S. senators, how are you going to get anything done? And I tell them, I say, hey, I'm blessed to be one of the few people that actually have the experience at the heart of how Washington's supposed to work. And very few people brag about D.C. experience, but I'm proud of the 2.5 years that I did in the Trump administration. And I was also part of the team that got the First Step Act passed, the bipartisan criminal justice reform bill, and it showed the way Washington is supposed to work. Strong leadership, bringing together a bipartisan group of people to get something important done for the country. So I've got that experience already. The things I want to work on are security, liberty, and prosperity. Those are the tenets of my campaign and what I'm going to do. I'm going to defend the country, defend the Constitution, and defend the American worker and the American economy. So security, we've got to secure our border. Every conservative candidate in the country will tell you that, but the question is, how do you do it? And I've been exposed to that as well. The wall is part of the answer, but there's also tunneling underneath our wall in certain areas. We have technological solutions that can secure our entire southern border, and we're not doing it, and there's no excuse for it, especially now that we have a terrorist-run Afghanistan. Also, education. I mean, somebody needs to show me the data that since the inception of the Department of Education by our very own Georgian, Jimmy Carter, in 1979, how has our children's learning improved since 1979? We've slipped on the global scale. China's eating our kids' lunch. Their kids are eating ours in math and science. And there's no data that shows that the Department of Education has improved our children's learning, and I think it needs to be dismantled, and I think that money needs to come back to the states, especially states that have school choice like ours. So those are a few of the line items of my agenda. My wife's worried that when I get up there, I'm never going to sleep again because I'm going to be waking up at 4 a.m. just ready to roar. And also, we got to get our spending under control. I mean, Raphael Warnock came in here, and we all know it, and sold Georgians a bag of goods. And what do those goods look like? We've got a terrorist-run Afghanistan. We've got rising inflation that's going through the roof. We've got proposed tax hikes for everyday Americans. We've got an open southern border. And this is not what Georgians want. And the inflation, my wife and I talk all the time about how the price of diapers even is skyrocketing. And who does that hurt the most? That hurts lower-income Americans. And I'm the only person in this race that can actually knock Raphael Warnock out of that seat in November. And I can't wait to do it.
And the holidays are coming up, and then after that, these races are really going to heat up. Any debates planned between the three candidates, you, Gary, and Herschel?
Well, funny you ought to ask. We actually already had one about a month ago up in North Georgia in Pickens County in Jasper, Georgia, and Herschel didn't show up. He was a no-show to our first debate, so I'm hoping we'll have more, and he'll actually be there because, look, I love Herschel just as much as any Bulldog, but these are serious times for our country, and you got to show up. If you expect to lead, especially as a United States Senator, you got to show up, because guess who's showing up every day from the Senate? Chuck Schumer, to try to push us down a pathway of socialism. And, for me, I look at it and I say, all right, if you're going to do the Biden basement strategy, that sounds good to me, because I'm tearing all across the state and getting in front of his supporters, and his support is paper thin. When we get in front of them, they get in the boat. So I'm going to call him and let him know when we have our next debate. It's not scheduled yet, but I'll be sure to let him know.
And if you just joined us, Latham Sadler, Ken, if you U.S. Senate on the phone with us, going to be in town tonight at the Altamont Steak and Seafood. If somebody wants to learn more about your campaign, do you have a Facebook page, or where can they go find out more about Latham Sadler?
We do. So the spelling is LATHAMSADDLER. So you can come join the mission at lathamsadler.com. We also do have a Facebook page. We've got an Instagram page. Unfortunately, we also have to have a Twitter page, so feel free to follow us on there as well.
Okay, and we'll look forward to tell us again about the event tonight at the Altamont Steak and Seafood, the time, and what's going to take place.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be there. I start speaking at 6 p.m., and so would love to have your listeners come out. I really would love. I mean, my favorite part of doing this is getting to shake the hands of everyday Georgians and learn what's on their hearts and minds. So please come out tonight to Ultima Steakhouse. We'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m., and I look forward to meeting y'all and looking forward to meeting your listeners.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate you being here on the show. Again, there's a second appearance on the Butch and Bob Show. Hopefully we can get you in the studio between now and after the first of the year. So look forward to meeting you in person tonight at the steakhouse, and we'll talk to you then, and we appreciate you being here on the show.
Likewise. Thank y'all, and God bless.
Okay. Thank you very much. Again, that's the U.S. Senate candidate Latham Sadler on the phone with us on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
All right, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. And good to hear from him. He sounds like an energetic young man.
Like I said, he's one of the first persons to enter the race, but like I said, since he entered, it's gotten kind of crowded. So, Gary Black, Agriculture Commissioner running, Herschel Walker running. So, be interested to see how it all shapes out on that Republican side between those three men. But
okay, Latham Sadler.
He'll be in town tonight.
At Omaha Steak and Seafood in downtown Jessup. He said 6 o'clock. And so he'll be there so you can meet him. Yeah, he was at University of Georgia when freshman there when the Twin Towers got hit.
All right.
And they decided he was a former Navy SEAL officer, former intelligence officer in the Trump White House, and resides up there with his family up in Cobb County. And so, just learn about him, folks. Go out and meet him and learn a bit about him so you can make an intelligent decision come primary time. Well, Bob, you had an interesting school board meeting last night. That was a good interview that you had with Dr. Kelly concerning the search for the athletic director and head football coach of Wayne County. And looks like they're moving forward and going to kick it into full action there after the holidays.
All right. But they're definitely separating the AD and football position. I mean, like I said, that decision's been made, so it'll be interesting how that works out.
Well, as he mentioned there on there, that was new information that I heard this morning. That they're going to make the athletic director and assistant principal there at the school. So he'll have those double duties as looking over the athletic department there at Wayne County, and then also, I guess, doing some principal duties too. So it'll be a double dip for the new athletic director, whoever that may be. And then, of course, the head football coach. I know they're going to try to see. It sounds like just from what he was saying, they want to secure somebody as soon as possible after the first of the year so they can get the best pickings out there as you take a look at them, because coaches are going to be moving here, there, and yonder during the off season, and they want to get the best.
Yeah, we're not the only school looking. Like
I know.
George High School Association already announced that 6 schools have already landed their coach.
Yeah, so a lot of folks are looking.
Times you got to get moving.
Times are drawing near. And so hopefully they'll do soon. I mean, if you haven't had the committee meet yet, and they're going to make a recommendation to Dr. Kelly and to the principal, time to get the show on the road, Bob.
Yeah. Well, the committee met this week.
They did meet this week. Good.
Last week.
All right.
They met
That's
one
good
time,
to hear.
so
That's good to hear.
I don't know when the next meeting is, but the committee's met.
But you already heard that there's some coaches that have already accepted positions at other schools already, right?
Right. Six schools have already landed their new head coach.
So I guess that shows we need to get the boat rolling, get it going. Try to get that person, but. The school board meeting last night, and then the good news, I guess, for the employees of the Board of Education. They got a raise, didn't they, or a bonus or something like that?
All the employees, full-time employees, get a $2,000 bonus for Christmas with that CARES Act money.
The CARES Act money?
Similar to the county and the city, just connects to their employees.
So an extra $2,000 in the Christmas stocking, huh? Congratulations to all of them. Yeah, I got that CARES Act. That's that Fed money coming down, huh?
I'm sure there's a lot of happy employees.
Yeah, a lot of happy employees. For most of them, that'll pay for their Christmas, And so that's good. That's good news right there. Put big smiles on everyone's faces there as the CARES money's down there taking care of our government employees. And then they, of course, decided not to, at this time, until Joe McPip can be there, to make a decision whether the next board will get more money per meeting or something like that, right?
Right. They're looking for an increase in pay.
Okay. For the new board that come in, a current board, you really never see, current boards usually don't vote raises for themselves. I'm not sure if that's just an etiquette thing or it's in their bylaws, but you always see them vote for the next terms coming up. So whether they're in there or not, did they make a decision on whether they're going to stagger the?
Yeah, they did. They're going to stagger the school board.
So I guess ones will have to decide whether they're going to run, for 2 years, and the next one the 4 years. So I think you get to have. I know in the city they you have ones volunteer say, okay, I'll do the 2 years.
1, 2, and 4 is 2 years. 3 and 5 is going to be 4 years.
Okay.
That was the decision last night.
All right. So that's going to be happening there with the Wayne County school system as they stagger those. So I guess you don't. Sometimes we've seen this in the past. Sometimes you have a whole new board come in. There seem to be more changes on the school board through the years than they have been in the city and the county.
Sometimes that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. That's just me.
It's amazing. We go off and we vote these people, we support them, we put them in there, and then next thing you know, we want to get them out. It's amazing how that changes, once a person gets in.
Still one of the most famous Butch and Bob shows ever was when school superintendent, no longer with us, Kendall Keith, came and told everybody that these school board members got to go vote them all out. And they did. They voted them all out. And,
of course, that was elected. Was he elected? He had to be elected, right? Was he appointed?
He was appointed.
Appointed? And he told them they had to go? Well, that's not very good job security right there.
Kendall wasn't elected. The last elected superintendent was elected back. I said we had those elections with Jerry Jones and David Norris, but after that they
it was
they
all,
did away. It was all
the state of the citizens of the state of Georgia, passed that resolution. The fact that they want their school superintendents appointed, not elected, and it's been that way ever since. And that was a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of people wish it went back to elected superintendents, but I don't know if we ever see that.
Somebody just texted in that it's state law that you cannot vote yourself a raise. If you're in public office, you cannot vote yourself a raise, immediately. It has to be for after the next election. Now, if you get reelected, that's one thing, but you can't do it like right now. I figured it had to be that way.
It wasn't mentioned last night. So.
Yeah, well, that was a government official out there that just texted in, so they must be in the know. Which makes sense. You just can't have folks in there just saying, I will raise, ramming through. So you voted, and also from public relations standpoint, from doing what's right standpoint, you just it's better to say, all right, we're going to put it in for the next board that comes in, whether we're on it or not, whether we run for re-election or not.
I think Ray Davidson said it best. It's not a smart move to be a politician and vote yourself a raise, but many politicians have done it. So,
well, you can't. You can vote it for the next term, but you can't do it for immediately. You can't say, all right, next month I want to make more money. You got to wait until after the election. And if you get reelected, then you're fortunate to stay in and get a little bit more money. If you don't decide not to run or you don't get elected, then you move on. But you're not doing it immediately right off the bat. You wait after the next election before that can go into effect. All right, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. And just to reiterate, we had I know that you mentioned this yesterday, but just in case folks didn't hear it, we had an athlete here at Wayne County who signed a scholarship, football scholarship, right?
He's signing today.
Signing today.
Yeah, early signing day. Owen Spell.
Owen
Charleston
Spell.
Salem. Yep. Looking forward to it. It's 9:30 this morning at the high school auditorium.
And College of Charleston, is that it?
Charleston Southern.
Charleston Southern. And he was one of them Charleston schools up there. So Charleston Southern going up there as a lineman, right? All right, so that's good. So we got somebody going on to play some football in the collegiate level this year, starting next year as a freshman in August. 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. What anything on your mind this morning, Bob? Anything at all? We got some more time to fill up here.
And I said, just me personally, if they're going to split that AD position, I know one of the coaches wants that AD position, baseball coach Justin McDonald. I think would make an excellent AD, so I'd like to see him get that AD position. I mean, I know he's made it clear he'd like to have that position. He's been there 13 years, quality coach, has the baseball program rolling. So that's what they're going to separate those positions, and he wants that job. That's who I'm lobbying for. I'd like to see Justin McDonald get that AD position.
Okay.
I think he'd do an excellent job.
So maybe we should go in the tradition of the city and promote from within?
I said he'd be qualified. Definitely be a good candidate for AD. So.
Okay, so he's already let the powers that be that he'd like to have that.
He's let people know that. So
okay,
like I said, I mean, it's no secret he'd like to have that position. So I endorse that 110%. So I'd like to see it happen, but that's just me.
Okay, well.
But I still like to see the AD get on board and help with the search of football. I just, I disagree with that position where the AD, I said, it'd be hard for a football coach to take the job not knowing who the AD is, I would think. That's just me. I'd like to know who my boss is.
On the sports, yeah.
Well, it's you're working under an AD.
Do you feel all the rest of them
if they separate the football AD, the football coach is working under the AD. Whoever, I'd like to know who that is before I took that job. Right. That's just me.
Okay, I understand.
To me, it makes sense to make the AD first and then let the AD help with the football position.
Of course, the way things are going right now, the way the coaches are getting hired for so quickly now, with just 6 of them, you need to get the AD in there as quick as you can if you want him to help or her to help with the with that decision.
Nice. That's the part I disagreed with the interview. To me, the AD should be selected first and have the AD help with the football search. That's how I would do it.
Okay.
So, because if I was a football coach at any school, I'd like to know who the AD is, because the AD is still in charge of the whole athletic
he's in
program.
charge of he or she's in charge of the day in, day out operations of all the sports, right?
Right.
Okay, someone just text in here at 912-427-3711. Someone just text in this comment. Coach McDonald should be AD as he's been there the longest. He's been head coach and runs a successful program with plenty of discipline. And so that's somebody's opinion who just texted in.
I agree with that opinion, 110%.
Yeah, he's had a very successful baseball program.
He's just a quality person. And that's what you want. You want quality in that position. I think you do an excellent job. So I said, whether that happens or not, I don't know, but I'm just giving my endorsement to that. Okay. I'd like to see it happen.
Well, this is an opinion show. If anybody's got any more, you can text them in at 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. Text in your questions or comments.
I said, I know he's interested.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'd just like to see it happen.
All right.
I've talked to several board members, gave my opinion. Talked to the principal, so they know my opinion. So
someone just texted in sarcastically. Now you have to understand this is a sarcastic comment here. Okay, you can't really get that with text messages, but this is a sarcastic message. It's Bob. That would be using common sense. Come on, man. Oh, jeez.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I look and see who else left, and we've lost quality. We didn't lose coaches; we lost quality coaches, and it disappoints me to see people like that. Like I said, there's a lot of quality across the river in Appleton County, and you see what kind of success they have.
It's solid land between us and Appleton County. No river between us and Appleton.
You don't have to cross that bridge. There's no bridge. Me, I get lost.
That only bridge that goes over railroad tracks, Bob. Okay. That's not a river down there between Wayne County and Appleton County.
Be a different
if you ever look down, that's a train track down there.
I was thinking somewhere else. Wrong
you
way
more. You were thinking Long County.
That's what it is.
That's what you were thinking, Long County.
I just know 30 miles up the road, they got some quality people from our school system. I said, and we didn't lose just coaches; we lost quality coaches. So They're doing a heck of a job over there. Got them in the Final Four. Should have played for the championship. Like I said, I was at that Cedar Grove game. That was a touchdown.
Got whipped. Yeah, they did. They got whipped. It wasn't like Pierce County, you lost by 2. No. Abilene got whipped by them.
They got beat.
They got whipped.
They didn't get whipped. They were up 10-0 with the touchdown stand. So.
They said they may be a head coach who wants to be AD too. No, that's not going to happen. They're going to make an athletic director, assistant principal, one position, and then they're going to have a head football coach for another position. If making a person an assistant principal opens up the purses, the pocketbook in a sense, the budget to be able to hire an AD and a quality football coach.
It was just nice to know that the salary is going to be that's what's concerning mine, whether or not they could pay, the 2 different positions. But talking to Dr. Kelly, he didn't think that was going to be a problem. So that was my concern. But a lot of schools do that. Like I said, there's a lot of schools around here just have an athletic director and then a head football coach. So a lot of more schools are separating that position. Because it is a tough job, AD, to be any coach.
You really need 2 positions there. There's way too many sports for one guy to handle football and all those things. So that's a smart decision separating 2, and it's a smart decision by making him or her an assistant principal, because that gives you the opportunity to do both, to hire an assistant, hire the AD assistant principal and a head football coach with good salary.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
All right, here's another, this is not what we're talking about. Somebody's trying to get Candace Taylor, who's running for governor, to be on the B&B show. Well, we'll try to set that up then. Let's see here. Somebody had text in, and Bob, here we go. This is a text. This is a text. This is not our opinion. This is a text. Wayne County is never going to see a change in coaching staff until we see a change in the politics that pushes all decisions in Wayne County. We need a clean slate. That was a text that came in, folks. That's somebody's opinion. I'm just reading it. Okay? Oh, boy. They're coming in like here's another text. If the Wayne County Board of Education does not give Coach McDonald the AD job, they are sending a bad message to their employees who put their time in and are successful. Okay? That's another text. Let's see if I got another one here about the dogs. Let's see if we got anything else about the schools here. Oh, that's way more right there. I'll have to get back to that. Let's go back to this one, Bob, because you can answer this one maybe. It says, do you think Kirby Smart will have the dogs ready for the Blue? Michigan, of course. You think they will show up with a chip on their shoulder?
I don't know if they have a chip on their shoulder. They're just going to refocus. And I said, Michigan's going to be a tough opponent, though. I mean, make no mistake about it. This is a good football team we're going to face. They've got huge offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Like I said, they're rolling on all cylinders. I mean, their last 2 games have been very impressive. They whipped up on Ohio State and they whipped up on Iowa in the bowl game. So it's a good football team. But the good news is they don't fling it all over the place like Alabama, and that was what hurt us in the Alabama game. But I said Georgia, what worries me is I don't want Georgia already looking for the rematch. I mean, they need to concentrate solely on Michigan.
They know good and well Michigan's a very quality football team. They cannot be looking for the next match.
Everybody's already talking about the rematch.
Geez, don't do that, folks. You got to.
I'm just telling you, that's the concern. So I think they'll be ready. Like I said, I think it'll be a good football game, but by no means do I think it'll be an easy contest. I think it'll be a very difficult game because Michigan is, like I said, running on all cylinders, and Big Ten, good conference. I mean, like I said, they play some good competition. Penn State,
and they've won the Big Ten the first time for eons, and they beat Ohio State. They feel like they're on a destiny roll right here.
All right, so it's going to be a good matchup. I think they're both good matchups. I think Cincinnati's going to be a lot better than what people think they are. I don't know if they can beat Alabama, but their secondary is they got one of the best defensive backs in the country. So, plus that guy can coach. I mean, Luke Fickell's a good coach. So.
Yeah. Now, today is signing day, and did Georgia lose a coach yesterday?
Dan Lanning's going to Oregon, but he's staying for the playoffs. Defense coordinator.
Our defensive coordinator's leaving Georgia and heading to Oregon?
Oregon.
So heading to Oregon.
Ducks. Yeah, but Will Muschamp's stepping in, so
That's amazing that they hired a defensive coach when they're so offensive oriented at Oregon for all these years,
He's a good coach.
He is a good coach. Right. He put together a great defense this year. So Kirby's going to be looking for a new defensive coordinator in all season, huh?
He's already got him. Will Muschamp's on staff.
Oh, okay. Well, you think he'll move Will right on it?
That's what he's already done.
He's already done that. Okay, good. I heard something about that yesterday, and I wasn't for sure on that.
They signed Mike Bobo's son as offensive lineman, too, so there's a rumor that Mike Bobo could be coming back in the fold. And like I said, Kirby, Muschamp, and Bobo are excellent friends. They played together at Georgia, so they could be a little.
Now, would Bobo be quarterbacks or what?
I'm not sure. Right now they don't have a position for him, but the rumor is they're going to find a position for him. Like I said they signed his son as an offensive lineman. He flipped from I can't remember where he was going, but he flipped and signed with Georgia.
Bobo's son?
Mike Bobo's son.
Okay.
Yeah, big offensive lineman.
Big guy, huh?
Georgia got the fastest kid in the state of Florida to come to Georgia, too, so they got a speedster coming in.
Is that a receiver?
Yeah.
Or a cornerback?
I think it's a receiver.
Receiver, okay.
They said he can fly. So Georgia's having a nice recruiting day, but again, they're number 2 behind Alabama, number 1.
That number 1 recruiting.
Saban can still recruit with the best
ones. He just seems, he just can recruit them big time.
That's a great place to go. I mean, what they've got over us right now is they're winning national championships.
Yeah, and they're sending. Of course, we're sending folks to pros, but not the same level they are. Yeah, especially last year.
It's a successful program.
Yeah.
So
Georgia's on its way to that level. I hope.
Like I said, we've got to get that mental block, beat Alabama, knock them off somehow. So I said, hopefully we'll get another shot. But
we got Michigan. That's there should be no talk about Alabama. It should be what can we do to beat Michigan. And I'm sure they're doing that there in Athens right now.
I'm sure they are. But it's going to be a tough game. Looking forward to it. Like I said, making that trip. Should be fun. Georgia, Michigan had, like I said, the first time they played since the 50s. So they've only played twice in the history of the school. So this is only the third meeting between Georgia and Michigan ever.
Amazing.
So it'll be a fun matchup.
Okay.
I'm just hoping the heat of Michigan or the heat of Miami just,
gets to them. Huh?
Yeah, they're just not to the heat. They're just gonna wilt.
Yeah, it is an outdoor stadium, so there will be heat there.
They're used to the snow and the ice.
It's going to be a nighttime game, isn't it?
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30, so it'll be sunset. But they still have the humidity of South Georgia.
All right. Hopefully it's like 90 degrees in Miami. That's my hope.
All right. Well, Bob, we'll get more text messages here, but I can't get them all. We're out of time. All right, Bob, you have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by First Southern Bank, by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial.